Hi guys, it's Mr. Hammond again, and today we're going to be looking at ordering rational numbers. Now, some of the things I will talk about this are things we haven't gone over in the class, but we will eventually be getting to this, so I'm kind of like teaching a little bit of ahead of what we're doing. When you have decimals, fractions, and percents, and you want to put them in order from least to greatest, the first thing you want to do is write them in the same form. The easiest way to do this is to turn them all into decimals. And I'm going to be going over how to turn a fraction into a decimal, which should be new for some of you, and a percent into a decimal, which is new, but trust me, both of these are fairly simple processes. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn 3/4 into a decimal. Now some of you right off the bat may understand what decimal that is, but let's just go through the mathematical process. First things you do is you take the denominator and you put it into the numerator. You're probably saying to yourself, wait, Mr. Hammond, how do I even do that? Because 4 doesn't fit into 3. And you're right, it doesn't. But that's where the magic of a decimal comes in. So I'm going to draw it out 4 into 3. And I know that 4 doesn't go into 3, so I make my x. So I'm going to add a decimal. And that magically allows me to add a 0 at the end. Now this decimal would also be placed above, just like that. Now I look at it as 4 goes into 30. That's really what I've got there is 30. Well, yeah, 4 does go into 30. It goes in there 7 times. 4 times 7 is 28. And when you do this, don't get caught up in the decimal. Once you've placed it, kind of ignore it and just do a normal division problem. And I'm going to get a remainder of 2. But I don't want remainders when I'm dealing with this. I want to turn this into a decimal, so I'm going to go ahead and add another 0. Better extend that line out a bit. Pull that 0 down. Okay. 4 goes into 20. I think it's 5 times. 4 times 5 is 20. All right. I've got down to 0. Perfect. So I know that 3/4 as a decimal also equals 0.75. Yes. Now, next I need to go over here to 3/5. And I'm going to use the same process. I'm going to take my denominator and divide it into my numerator. Again, we all know 5 doesn't go into 3. It's like saying you can't make a group of 5 if you only have 3 things. But I'm going to add the magic decimal. Now I get that as 0. 5 does go into 30 6 times. And there we have it. Remember, don't get caught up. Adding a 0 means you have to put the decimal there, but then just put it above, forget about it, and do the problem. So here I have 0.6. So 3.5 equals 0.6. Now I'm starting to see I'm getting all these into decimals. But so far, it's looking pretty good. Last but not least, I got 15%. And you're probably like, oh my gosh, how do we do this? Well, don't worry. This is one of the easiest ones to do of all. 15% is like saying 15 over 100. Or, really easily, it turns itself into 0.15. Yep, that's right. That's pretty much all you have to do. Get rid of the percent symbol, put a decimal in the front, and you're done. How easy is that? All right, so let's take a look at all these decimals we have now and put them in order. Excuse me while I move up this notebook. So I got to look for my smallest decimal. Well, that's 0.75, so that's 75 over 100, so that's in the 75 hundredths. That's 8 tenths. Okay, so I think this one is bigger than that one. 0.6, okay, so 0.6 would be smaller than the 8, and it would be smaller than the 7, because I'm looking at the tens place. The tens place here is a 0, so that's got to be super small, and the tens place here is a 1. So looking at the tenths place, the smallest tenths place is right here with the 9 hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and write down 0.09. That's my smallest so far because the tenths place is the smallest number. Next biggest, I've got a 7, I've got an 8 in the tenths place, a 6, and a 1. So the 1's going to be next. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 15 hundredths. Now I'm going to look in the tens place again for my next biggest number. I've got a 7, I've got an 8, and I've got a 6. So the 6 is going to be next. Then I've got an 8 and a 7. I think the 7's next. and then 0.8. And now I'm going to go through, just double check by just drawing a line under the tens place. Yep, looks pretty good. I've got a 0, 1, 6, 7, 8. All right, that's it. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to it. Good luck.